It's just such a great relationship that's formed, for the better of the children. But, personally, working with Will, the amount of fun that I had, the chemistry that we have, and working with Sean and John, it was just, and most importantly, they took the time to really make the script better than the first one and have it make sense as opposed to just making for the sake of making a sequel. That was the big reason. I think audiences fell in love with these characters and the way that they've now tried to basically harbor all of their kind of ill will and the issues that they had for the sake of the kids, and they're coexisting quite nicely until good old Dad comes, played by my buddy Mel Gibson. John is so sweet and endearing and very much like Will and his character Brad. And Mel is just a badass, you know what I mean? It'd take a special someone, a special individual to make Dusty uncomfortable, and that's Mel Gibson. It's cool. Look, I always want to do something different, I think the character's got to kind of evolve and grow, and to see Dusty really trying to coexist with Brad in a way that really serves the kids is cool. And then to see him now kind of being shaken, it's kind of like Will and I have kind of basically reversed roles, so yeah, it's clever. They're both pretty uncomfortable with expressing emotion. Anything that has to do with vulnerability, or what people would perceive as being soft. And they're both quick to, go to the fisticuffs before anything else. And I think, I think Dusty's a little bit jealous and envious of the relationship that Brad has with his dad, with Don. He would like to have had that kind of affection with his dad and a little bit more closeness. You can see that, Kurt's always kind of ruled with an iron fist. And, yeah, so, but we're trying to get there. When you meet us now, we're working together. We're doing pretty well. Existing as co-dads, and we kind of finish each other's sentences. We're taking care of the responsibilities, and then once and we're very happy with that. The kids are happy, but once my dad shows up, everything gets kind of thrown under the bus, and it's pretty clear that we're masking these issues not very well. And my dad, I know right away he's going to pick us apart. He's going to completely break us down and call BS on everything that we're doing. But again, I think that at the end of the day, it's about people growing and coming together and becoming more of a family, and being there for one another. Alessandra was in the first movie, but she really had a very small part. We only had like 2 scenes together. But she's fantastic. And then with Mel, we've known each other kind of in passing, and so to finally get to work with him is fantastic. And John Lithgow, obviously, he's a force of nature. And Cena's really cool. He was cool in the first movie. I knew he'd be great coming back. It was such an interesting thing to see kind of Dusty uncomfortable in that situation as well. I think they love him equally. They don't really, in the beginning of the story, they don't know Kurt, and Kurt could be very competitive. Once he sees how affectionate they are with Pop Pop, he wants some of that love and attention too. But he hadn't been around that much. You want that kind of love and affection, you got to be around. They got to know who you are and be comfortable with you. So he does everything he can to win them over pretty quickly, and they do. They end up loving him just as much. We just had great chemistry. I remember I always wanted to do comedy, and I met with some guys, and I was like, I don't know, this seems, to do comedy, I would like to be in an environment where it's loose and friendly, and if, guys are kind of a little dark and, not what they appear on screen. But Will is a special and unique individual because his comedy really comes from a nice place. He just enjoys making people laugh, but he's a really sweet, down-to-earth guy. So when I met him and McKay the first time around, they said, hey, yeah, we're thinking about doing this movie. I said, I'm in. 5 minutes into the conversation, they were like, well, we haven't told you the idea yet. And I was like, I don't care. I mean, you know what? I would love to work with you guys. And then they said, okay, well, let us tell you the idea. And I loved the idea. That was the other guys. And, 3 months after that, they sent me a script. And 3 months after that, we shot the movie. And then coming back to him with this, it's a great dynamic between the two of us, And he's just a sweet, funny guy. He's really talented. And, people enjoy watching us together. So it's cool. Fantastic, prepared. Again, it's like one of those things where they hadn't done anything else after Daddy's Home. I mean, they were probably writing a bunch of stuff, but when they focused on this was the next project. I mean, they really do the work, and you can see that in the attention to detail and just the quality of the writing. So, but sweet guys, very funny, very easy to work with, very prepared. You get spoiled working with those two guys. It can always be complicated, but it's a very positive thing. I mean, the term family obviously has a completely new definition now, and it's nice to see that people can come together. My mom had remarried after my parents divorced. I had a stepdad. Just want to show that it's okay. There's all types of different forms of family, and we come together and work through our differences, and be there for one another. We realized that we're trying to be so careful with how we do everything and make sure everybody has their time and their space that it's actually starting to have an effect on the kids. And when Megan gets up at school at the Christmas play and basically says, she doesn't like Christmas because she's always got to go to 2 different houses and everything is always separated, that we realized that, we're not doing the right thing. And then maybe what we're doing is more to benefit us and have our own time and our own space and not really doing what's right for the kids. So we decided we're going to have Christmas together. And then, of course, my dad invites himself over to Christmas, which he has never done, and then decides that, we should all stay in one place and rents this place, and it all starts to go sideways from there. I just hope, like the first one, people go, together, experience the movie in a theater with their families and with other families, and go and laugh and cry and leave the theater in a really good mood, and want to go and do something Christmassy with their family.
Hey, Vali here with a bonus movie fact for you. Did you know that Tom Hanks' Forrest Gump movie covers the gamut of small, everyday moments and iconic historical scenes? And they were all supplemented by the use of digitally generated images. Forrest running through a jungle in Vietnam? CGI. Forrest mad table tennis skills? CGI. Lieutenant Dan's amputated legs? CGI. Hey, that cute feather at the start is computer generated. The film has more minutes of CGI screen time than Jurassic Park. Now, who would have thought that? Okay, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. See ya!